Where are the zero F millionaires today?
At 12.
What the freak? Lil Tay, freshly 18. Please don't tell my mom. My 18th birthday exclusive shot at 12:01 a.m.
12:01 a.m. on her 18th birthday.
12:01, bro. That's barely 18.
Posts her OnlyFans link, and within hours, she's made $1 million.
She made $1 million in 3 hours.
OnlyFans is an innovation we've never seen before in the sex trade, taking a movement meant to empower women's rights and twisting it to enrich the few at the top, all at the expense of society as a whole, which we'd later talk to Chris Williamson about.
OnlyFans almost certainly takes advantage of the loneliness.
Almost, you mean it does?
We're seeing in young men at the moment, but it also is just an outgrowth. It's just another wing on the side of the sort of pornification, identification world.
And now they're turning the most sick thing possible into a marketing.
Bro, these kids be planning it, bro. They be planning to drop that OF when they hit freaking 18 at like the earliest ages of like 8.
Strategy?
Y'all already know what the f going on. We just broke the link record with the youngest link of the century.
The youngest, bro, she was the youngest person to post links for OF, bro.
$1 million in a couple hours. I'm still the youngest.
America, she's the youngest person to post an OF link. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh.
This is Lil Tay, real name Claire Aline Keyhope. And this is the result of a plan set in motion when she was just 11 years old.
Viral child star Lil Tay.
Bro, she did make $1 million in 3 hours, but she's the youngest. Bro, I don't see the money be good, but it's like the morals, like the standards. Like your kids gonna be like, oh, that's my mother's butt. Like
just turned 18 and within hours launched an OnlyFans account claiming to have broken records.
So is this something that you had been planning on, like waiting until you turned 18 to be able to do it?
It's an idea. I've actually been like planning this since like 2018.
Since 2018, she been planning it?
Born 2007, Lil Tay was planning on doing OnlyFans well before she should have even been allowed on social media.
Thank you to all my supporters.
Thank you to my mother for making me not have a phone until I was like in high school, like in 9th grade.
Who have pre-ordered since 2018 or whenever you did.
OnlyFans had only existed for a couple of years back then, but has now grown to be valued at over $8 billion US.
Billion?
See, the platform has amassed over 4 million creators, but the average creator makes just $180 US per month, while the top 10% take over 70% of the earnings and the top 1% take over 30%, with Lil Tay placing in the top 0.0001% of creators earning over $3 million after just 3 hours.
Already, like, I'm already number 1 on OF. I'm the youngest, and I'm...
Bro, you're really proud to be the youngest. Like, dang, congratulations.
As always.
But the truth of why she's doing this is far more twisted.
Childhood trauma.
Because while the insane amounts of money Lil Tay is earning would be a good explanation, Lil Tay's past not only calls her free will into question, but also who that money even goes to in the first place. 2018, a 9-year-old girl appears on Instagram.
She was 9 years old in 2018 and she was planning on making her OF in 2018. While being 9 years old.
Calling herself the youngest flexer of the century. She speaks in a contrived hood accent, and her Instagram is all wads of cash and
she's not even black, but I bet she says the N-word.
Luxury cars. She gains 1.2 million followers in 2 weeks.
My toilet costs more to your rent. I'm only 9 years old. This Lil Tay, and I'm richer than all y'all broke Jiggly Pop looking at.
She said the N-word. Convince his 9-year-old sister to say racial slur and say that she's going to F people's mothers. Oh my gosh.
Want to start a podcast, but not sure
the
how.
Mothers?
Riverside,
that's crazy, bro.
Bird? Mama, cause she has thought.
Wait, who is Lil Tay?
Lil Tay is a 9-year-old girl who is famous now on the internet for talking shit and showing all the money she has and all the things she buys.
Bro, was that all that stuff really hers?
You don't know about Lil Tay?
Was that like prop money?
This is the death of society.
At first we laughed. It's just absurd. A kid flexing Lamborghinis and dissing people in a fake accent. But the laughter didn't last. A 9-year-old doesn't invent these lines or build this character or monetize themselves. Then a leaked video surfaces. Her 16-year-old brother Jason is directing her. Not encouraging, but coaching.
Lil Tay be popping on YouTube right now.
Redo. You need to be like more ignorant. You have to be like
more black. He means more black.
Ooh, Lil Tay out here.
Jason was obsessed with going viral in the late 2010s.
He knew how to, because what else goes viral in black culture?
He figured shock was the fastest way to fame, and it would hit harder coming from a kid rather than him. So he chose his younger sister, which would set off years of manipulation and exploitation. Even her own parents were cashing in, pushing her to do whatever made the most money as fast as possible.
And what about those homes she claims to own? GMA talked to Mom Angie's former boss at a Vancouver real estate firm, who told us Lil Tay filmed using his car and some of his properties for sale, all without his approval.
So it was not his parent stuff?
Anyone else's house.
You didn't shoot in anyone else's house.
She then walks this back to...
No one has proof that I did.
Her mother, a real estate agent, was far more involved than appeared at first, and was actually...
But of course she gots to be.
...fired after she let Lil Tay use people's homes and cars to film.
She used people's homes and cars?
Yang was Angela Tian's boss. His red Mercedes SL500.
Oh my gosh.
Also used
I bet he was like, get that little ass girl out my freaking car.
as a prop in one of the profanity-laced posts.
But I didn't realize she was filming for Instagram. If I had known, this would have been happened.
This exploitation of a child was only headed in one direction.
Just stop recording my videos. I have a dream. I'm trying to make my mom proud.
And even before OnlyFans, commentators...
You have a dream, so you're MOK now?
...were seeing exactly where Lil Tay's trajectory would take her.
These images will live on and follow you for the rest of your life. Is a 9-year-old really capable of making this kind of decision?
This is some question you ask a girl on her way into porn, not a 9-year-old with a foul mouth.
But then, one day...
Well, you know what road she's gonna be on then.
Lil Tay...
Well, what road she is on...
just disappears. Now, you might be thinking,
she disappeared?
Good, she should never have been pushed into this anyway. Yet, her disappearance would last for 5 years. And then, in 2023, her family revealed that she and her brother were dead. So,
bro, they try to pull a Neon? Oh my god!
What could have been more disturbing than her exploitation and her death? Well, maybe the fact that it was all fake. Yes, Lil Tay emerged from the grave to reveal that she was in fact alive and that her disappearance was due to her parents' custody battle. She claims her father was coercive, abusive, and forced Lil Tay back to Canada before falsely announcing her death. And if you thought that was the peak of it, it wasn't. Only 15 years old, she released her first song.
So dropping her music?
Sucker for Green, a song about sex and money. Beyond the feeble songwriting and dancing, this whole thing was just so disturbing, seeing the sinister direction Lil Tay's life was going. It wasn't long before she admitted her childhood was ruined. It was
life-threatening, heart tumors, millions stolen, physically and mentally abused, publicly slandered, fake death, childhood gone. Well, you know what people would be doing for money, especially parents who see that their kid can make money.
So it wasn't long before it
all
was
because of an abusive father.
Over. Leading up to her 18th birthday, Lil Tay posts about men asking for her OnlyFans account the moment she's legal.
So it's my 18th birthday on July 29th, and every male has been counting down to it and literally telling me to drop the link the second I turn 18.
And she did, I think, like a minute after.
Girlies, what do you think? Should I do it?
Then at 12:01 on July 29th, Lil Tay releases her OnlyFans. Everything is designed to publicize the fact that she's barely legal and it somehow works. But you might have picked up on something. She released the first batch of content at 12:01 on her 18th birthday. So unless she shot, edited and uploaded this all in 1 minute, it was then created while she was still
17, a minor.
Child. This video is sponsored by Chat LLM from Abigail.
Chat LLM? Get off of my screen.
And fully regenerated to help you build $10 of all the made below. And it isn't the first time underage content has found its way onto OnlyFans. There's been a whole slew of this stuff on OnlyFans in the past. But this is where Lil Tay's story gets
it's a whole pipeline, bro.
It's even weirder. As she goes on to claim that
like the school to prison pipeline, the OF pipeline is pipelines for everything.
Way of life, an alternative to college. In many respects,
OF is a new college. One builds depth, the other builds wealth. Pick your poison.
Didn't actually plan for this
new college
to even happen. It just builds the cleanest payment
it's just content creation. It's corn.
System we've ever had for it. It takes the world's oldest trade and plugs it straight into the modern attention economy, where everyone competes, everything escalates, and whatever gets the strongest reaction gets rewarded. And for the young men fueling demand, it's the feeling of being wanted by purchasing a micro relationship, a feeling that someone is responding to you. So we spoke to Chris Williamson, the host of the Modern Wisdom podcast, known for talking to psychologists, researchers, and cultural critics about what's happening to dating, loneliness, and meaning in modern life. So we asked him if OnlyFans is linked to the loneliness epidemic.
OnlyFans almost certainly takes advantage of the loneliness that we're seeing in young men at the moment, but it also is just an outgrowth. It's just another wing on the side of the sort of pornification, identification world. Maybe it does help men to feel less lonely, or maybe it causes them to steep in their own neurosis and
I feel like it makes them more depressed, bro, because at the end of the day, when you open your eyes, nobody is near you.
ruminating thoughts and spend all of their time
You're just glorifying the idea that nobody is beside you.
in the house. I don't know. It could
By
be
finding validation in OF girls.
either of those two things. And ultimately, we need to work out what's the net impact of this. Is this going to make them all sexually dysfunctional? Is it all going to give them OCD or performative autism or ADHD or whatever? Is it going to make them totally incapable of social interaction? Or is it going to have a negligible effect? We don't know. Like, this is what happens when you release a new technology. And I don't know, I am...
We'll find out when it goes, how it goes.
You know, I am quite concerned about what the future of young kids growing up with. I mean, it shows you everything that you need to know that Steve Jobs' kids didn't have iPads.
Yeah.
The people that create these technologies don't permit their children to...
I didn't know Steve Jobs didn't let his kids not use iPads. Smart billionaire way of thinking.
use them. And yet, many users of these technologies do. I can't make the prediction, and this is why it's scary. The uncertainty is what's scary. If we knew the impact that this had, we'd be able to start adjusting stuff. We'd be able to control usage time, or we'd be able to... It would come with a health warning.
And then he points us to a common moral defense people use to justify the entire industry.
You know, it's kind of like the drug dealer argument. If they don't get it from me, they're going to get it from someone else.
That is true.
I know this will change the course of my
That
life
is
and
true.
family legacy in a profound way.
People got to find some way to cope.
You know, if one OnlyFans creator doesn't create her OnlyFans, it's not like a million others. And if it's not that, it's admireme.vip. And if it's not that, it's, you know, the way that these competitions work is that if there's a gap in the market, someone's going to fill it.
Yeah.
So I would guess, again, if I was, I'll just put a little bet on, can't say with certainty, but I would guess that OnlyFans discourages men from finding intimacy in the real world. That would be unsurprising to me if there was a study done, and
it does, because guys really think they have chances with these women.
OnlyFans subscribers report higher levels of real world loneliness. Would be very unsurprising. But how comforted are they by this, again, artificial intimacy? Virtual intimacy, I guess. It's not necessarily artificial.
It's clear that OnlyFans is just a symptom of a much wider problem between men and women in 2026, where these systems hijack the void in the psyche of millions. So what are we actually seeing here? How has her life come from being a millionaire from OnlyFans? And most importantly, where does this lead over time? Especially now that she's over 18, people just shrug and say, well, she's legal now.
That's crazy, but she didn't record the first few videos after when she was 18. She did it before when she was still a child.
The internet's so desensitized to this pipeline that preparing children for work doesn't even register anymore. From then, her earnings had risen from $1 million to $15 million, and she still claims to be the #1 on the platform. Yet it seems
in 2 weeks, #1 on the whole site.
It's like her personal
That's
life
crazy.
is hell.
New tapes just dropped, of course.
This is hardly the worst story compared to all the other OnlyFans millionaires out there. You see, what happens when the most humiliating thing done to you,
Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna settle revenge lawsuit ahead of court date,
becomes the thing you have to sell to survive. Blac Chyna found out after Rob Kardashian posted revenge content, creating an expensive legal fight that led her to OnlyFans to pay for this. Born Angela White, her mother, Tony Tokyo, was abusive, unhinged, and takes all credit
for bro, you seen those clips?
Her daughter's successes, literally taking any opportunity to demean her own daughter publicly.
She be barking at her.
She's rotten, spoiled, always been, and lied. Period.
Angela White was forced to sell herself to survive and to support her parents from a young age. She worked as a stripper from the age of 18 while at university.
Dang, she was a stripper? Dang, she looked so much better back then. Like, what the freak? She got work done.
Support herself and both her parents financially.
I continued to dance, to like support myself, my mom, and my family and whatnot.
Here she met a man called Blac Chyna. She liked the name and took it for her own alter ego, a character she built around herself, one she could sell to survive while preserving Angela White.
Blac Chyna is the brand.
Is that where the persona of Blac Chyna was created? Was it that
absolutely.
Era? Okay.
Yeah, in the strip club.
She danced at the King of Diamonds, a celebrity strip.
I want to be a ballerina, midnight ballerina, whatever they call them.
But one of those celebrities took a shine to her. Drake's turned her into a category.
Drake is all Drake's. It's all leading to Drake. It's
then
Drake's
the
fault.
industry started hiring her. But she wasn't talent, she was just purely sex appeal. And soon another artist would discover her. Blac Chyna spoke publicly in an interview about how rapper Tyga came out to Miami to the strip club she worked at specifically to meet her.
Yeah, so Drake put me in a song, it's called Miss Me, which then Tyga discovered me. Well, not
she was in Miss Me?
Discovered me, but he came to come and meet me and meet Chyna.
But this didn't lead to more work.
So then from there, after that, I got pregnant, and then I moved to LA.
This would put her on the road to OnlyFans, and it was then that she started to enhance her body. Cosmetic surgeries that reflected modern society's appetite for excess, including 4 breast enlargement surgeries, lip fillers, Botox, and silicone injections in her bum.
Bro, she didn't really need all that face though, because she already black.
Tyga then quickly moved on to the next woman.
And
she needed some. Look at.
And then he started talking to Kylie at the time, which is like, I think she was like 16 or something. And we was
crazy. And Tyga got to be at least like 26 during this time.
Engaged and stuff. So that's kind of like what ended it.
Now, she's a single mother, with the father embedded in a powerful family that considers her a threat.
Everyone knows the history that Blac Chyna and the Kardashian sisters do not get along.
But one did.
Because she's a black woman.
You see, Rob took a liking to Blac Chyna and began messaging her.
Robert, he was hitting me up on Instagram like all the time.
It wouldn't take long before she was sucked into the Kardashian orbit again. Their relationship didn't last very long. She alleges that he beat her and his sister got their show cancelled. They then split up, and Rob publishes revenge content of her online. So now
Rob posted that.
She was fighting multiple legal cases.
A court showdown between Blac Chyna and the members of the Kardashian family is taking place years after the reality star filed a lawsuit against Kris Jenner and her daughters.
And here's the craziest part. When Rob leaked the photos, fighting back required money that she just didn't have. So she had to start an OnlyFans. The very thing used to degrade her became the thing she had to sell.
It was something that I didn't want to do at first. But at the time I had so many lawsuits and so many things that I was dealing with. I'm like, I gotta figure out how can I continue to have my house, take care of my kids, do everything I need to do. So
yes, bro. So this is reasonable because she's a grown adult woman way past the age of 18.
That's why I started the OnlyFans.
And almost to her detriment, it was a huge success. She went stratospheric and became one of the platform's top content creators.
Dang!
As headlines emerged about her earning $20 million a
$20 million
month. But
per month? $20 million per month?
It was just another degrading chapter in her book of her own exploitation.
It's a dead end. All that stuff is a dead end. Yeah, the money's...
It is, but 20... Damn.
Great, but... do I really want to live my life like this? And the answer is no.
Unlike Lil Tay, Blac Chyna doesn't want other women to get stuck into a lifestyle that she was trapped in.
I had to take a step back and think about okay, for example, if I'm doing OnlyFans and people are seeing that I'm making so much money, that's going to influence them to want to go and do OnlyFans.
That's true.
Couldn't do it anymore. She then became a born-again Christian and was baptized.
My work is easy because I
okay,
use Click.
baptized.
Here's how I keep track of all my tasks.
Okay,
I start my
girl,
brain dumping
getting
everything I need to get
baptized.
And without warning, she deactivated her OnlyFans.
Okay, deactivation.
It's like I started feeling a conviction. It's like one of those things I did what I needed to do at that moment because of the circumstances that I was in, and then it's like you do it.
If you gotta sell some coochie, you gotta sell some
Like, you gotta
coochie.
get out of it. It's degrading.
But she spent years and thousands of dollars creating Black China. That had to go too. But undoing so much cosmetic surgery
She undid her surgery?
isn't as easy as deleting an app.
With surgery, I took out the fillers, my lip fillers, cheek fillers, chin fillers, this filler.
Damn, how many fillers she got on her face?
Reduce. One of the best decisions I could have done.
She got her
in a
breasts
very long
reduced?
time. Also, I got the reduction in my butt.
But what about the guys spending the money and influencing these women to get to this point in the first place?
People
That's
that are
crazy.
outliers
20 million a month.
in one area are outliers in other areas. If you're non-typical with your drive, or your desire to prove yourself to the world, or your need for validation, or your capitalism, or your ruthlessness, or your work ethic, you might be non-typical when it comes to your sex as well. When you can afford anything, what is left for you to want? It's something that you can't get. And what is it that you can't get? Well, you have to start pushing illegality.
Knowing that only makes our next story so much worse.
Yes, bro, because if you have all the money in the world, then, like, what the freak? Like, what's the point of having morals anymore, right? Wrong!
My name's Annie, I'm 25. I do social media full time, influencing on TikTok and Instagram. I also do a little bit of OnlyFans.
How much is a little bit?
Annie Knight is one of Australia's top OnlyFans models, and she makes up to $600,000 per month. This is an insane sum of money, and probably more and less work than the career she originally wanted for herself.
She wanted to be a brain surgeon?
She discovered OnlyFans during
How the freak you go from brain surgeon to OF?
I started posting TikToks, and then I realized how fun it was, and I was getting views, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I started seeing TikToks of other women who have an OnlyFans page. And it's something that one of my friends had said to me to do. She's like, you should create an OnlyFans page. Like, you would make millions, you'd do so well. And I was like, what are you even talking about? What's OnlyFans?
But because she wasn't famous yet, she didn't enter through the front door like Lil Tay and Black China. She entered through the messy reality creators never talk about, leaks.
I was very scared about
She got
my
leaked?
nudes getting leaked. And it did actually happen. It started getting circulated within my social circles and stuff, which was pretty
Oh my gosh, her mother probably saw her OF leaks.
stressful, and it actually made me stop doing it for a while there.
And once that happens, OnlyFans' promise of control falls apart pretty quickly. Now it's not just a website, it's in people's WhatsApp group chats, it's being shown on a phone, handed around at a party, it's everywhere.
I was so ashamed. I really went into my shell during that period, and I had a lot of social anxiety. Every time I would go to a party or I would go out somewhere, I would see people whispering and pointing, and
You see those leaks?
people I knew as well. So it was really stressful, and it caused me a lot of anxiety.
But it wasn't just emotional consequences, she also lost her career.
I had just started a new job. I was on day 5, and I actually went home sick that day, and I received an email saying termination of contract.
How you think you're gonna keep your job if you got an OF? Even if, bro, they find it, it's raps.
And I was shocked. I didn't know what was going on. And I read the email and quickly saw screenshots of my OnlyFans on the email and a list of 3 reasons why I was fired, basically.
This is the treadmill you get trapped on. Once you're exposed, the pressure doesn't disappear, it multiplies. And it doesn't just affect her, it hits everyone around her.
The abuse her fiance receives from hate. I said finance.
Her husband was then harassed in public. His old post then gets
sip of the century,
and it escalated from comments online to real-world threats.
My fiance and I, our lives have been threatened, and we've had...
Bro, I mean, if you're not posting content on OF with your fiance and you're doing it with other men,
had something scary happen recently where
I wonder why.
I think had we not had a really high-tech security system in our house, things could have gone very bad, and that's scary, and that's the part of it that I think I do regret. And I think it's pretty easy to say that if I'd never worked with Bonnie, that wouldn't have happened.
Knight is even personally threatened too, but there's one story that changes the tone of everything. Knight revealed that during a collaboration with a male creator, she was art. The attack only ended as she secretly...
She was what?
Collaboration with a male creator, she was art. The attack only
She was
ended
hurt.
as she secretly installed a guard in the next room who heard her screaming for help. He later researched the man and found out he was a convicted felon with a long rap sheet of disgusting offenses.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
filming,
gosh.
and straight away he is doing the things that I've told him I don't want to do. Now, I've been in this position, a similar position before at this point, where I was like, okay, enough is enough. And
Why are you doing, bro? Why can't you make old content with your fiance? You gotta bring these random men in there.
eventually I just pushed him off me and I left. This time was different because I asked him multiple times for him to stop and he didn't. So I was trying to like get him off me, and the more I was like pushing him, the more he kept like pushing me down.
This is the bit people ignore when they go on about empowerment. Autonomy doesn't cancel out risks. They just show up in different places. And what's grim is that the stories that travel furthest aren't the warning, but the spectacle.
I just got railed by 583 guys in...
What?
Furthest aren't the warning, but the spectacle.
I just got railed by 583 guys in 6 hours.
This the same girl that F 1,000 dudes in one day?
You've probably heard of these stunts, but what you don't see is what it does to someone's body after the cameras turn off. Knight was actually
She was in hospital?
hospitalized and admitted not knowing that could happen. You're probably wondering,
Bro, she was in the hospital after she F'd 1,000 dudes in one day?
anyone could put themselves through that. Knight's been clear she doesn't plan to do this forever, just enough to lock in her financial future.
It was about, $600,000, and now it's been pretty consistently been $450,000 a month.
Even at her lowest, she makes an insane amount. But she still admits this is not what...
Bro, like that is so crazy.
what happens with most OnlyFans girls.
What I see a lot these days is these girls thinking that they're going to create an account and become millionaires overnight. And that is not it. They try and go back to a job and they can't because they've gotten enough coverage or enough media coverage or whatever that, that no one will take them back. So that's something I see a lot that's really sad.
These stunts don't go viral in a vacuum. They go
Bro, she did it in 12 hours? I thought it was a day.
because there's a paying audience for them. And what's devastating is that paying for OnlyFans doesn't even come with the kind of status the men usually chase.
There's no status associated with a guy subscribing to a girl's OnlyFans because anybody with the price of a cheeseburger per month can do that.
And what's so bizarre about this is that paying for OnlyFans clearly doesn't even come with the kind of status that men usually chase.
The reason that guys like to show off the girls that they're with is that they've been selected in some form, right? There's status associated with that woman selecting that man. Presumably there were many men, or at least not just one, and from all of the men, he was chosen.
That's the change. Instead of status through being chosen, OnlyFans offers access through payment, and that access can start to function like a substitute for real dating and real intimacy, especially when people feel more lonely, isolated, and more rejected than ever. And it's all part of a broader trend that we're seeing with artificial intimacy.
But the same isn't true of artificial intimacy, because there's an unlimited number of AI girlfriends.
It is.
That being said, male loneliness is a huge problem. It's one that I care about an awful lot. And if this is able to mitigate that, then I don't necessarily have strong opinions about it unless it encourages men to not step out into the real world. I think that's the concern that everybody has.
I think it don't let men step out to the real world, especially with these AI girlfriends.
Then there's the darkest version. Not the platform rewarding you for going further, but someone who allegedly forces you to. For most of you, Jack Doherty is a YouTuber.
Oh my gosh, Jack Doherty.
But for the women that know him, he's the one that brought them into OnlyFans.
I'm not a bottle girl.
You do OnlyFans.
She works right now.
You do OnlyFans.
You paid me to OnlyFans.
You did before I made you.
Bro, she just outed his freaking scheme.
McKinley Richardson thought that she was different. She was actually dating the guy and was clear she didn't want to do OnlyFans.
I realized that
she didn't want to.
The way they did make their money was through OnlyFans. And that was something that I knew that I didn't want to do for myself.
He's the manager. That's the only way. He's the manager.
Allegedly, within 6 months, he'd pushed her into it, controlling her account and the money.
Did an event in Houston and I had a lady say that to me. She's like, I thought OnlyFans eliminated the trafficker, but I'm now understanding that agencies are the traffickers.
Richardson describes how at the beginning Doherty was kind and loving, but allegedly soon became controlling, abusive, and threatening.
I remember saying, I'm just gonna myself.
Not long after starting it, he allegedly became abusive financially.
Even the cut that I get, the small portion of money that I get that's actually mine, you're still cutting into that and using that amount of money when I hardly have anything and you're taking everything from me.
I mean, you is his girlfriend and he did put you on OnlyFans, which is degrading to him and to you, so maybe that's why.
Richardson tells a story about wanting to buy her first ever car with her earning.
But she is the person going through, the deed to post the content on OF. So maybe she do deserve more.
But Doherty didn't want her to have that freedom, so he made sure she couldn't drive.
I needed to pay my taxes. I wanted to buy a car for myself. That was something that I wasn't ready for. But Jack just didn't want me to buy a car. Like, that was...
He don't want you out. He wants you to stay in his house.
Some of our biggest fights. He wanted me to stay home. So Jack and I had a joint bank account. We shared a bank account. He would, take the money from OnlyFans, put it into this joint bank account, and take his cut of money. But when I went into my account, I realized that all my money was gone.
Did he take all your money?
I'm trying to think how much it was. I want to say $300,000.
And she wasn't the only girl he was managing.
He was doing this to a lot of girls.
His tactics for finding new clients sounded eerily similar to almost pimping.
He loves the club. And the whole time he would be in these clubs, it wasn't just for him to have fun, but he was just looking for girls.
To pimp out.
To sign.
Doherty himself has outlined how he pivoted to OnlyFans as his YouTube channel declined and the money he was used to disappeared.
Everything was like adding up and I was like, yo, I need to make more money. Like, I need to do something. Then I figured it all out.
What'd you do?
Started an OnlyFans management.
That's when you started?
Yeah, when I was 18.
Doherty was able to leverage his online success to convince women to let him manage their adult content careers, but he has a specific type he targets.
I don't want to work with a girl that already has followers. Like, I want to be credited for everything. Like, you get a humble girl at 0 followers. If you know what you're doing, you can make whatever girls you're working with stand out more.
During his wedding vows to Richardson, Doherty dropped some surprise conditions for their partnership. One was that all of Richardson's OnlyFans earnings would go to him, but his commodification didn't stop there. When Richardson found out she was pregnant, his reaction terrified her.
Bro, she's still pregnant?
Oh my gosh, we're gonna start a family YouTube channel and you're going to make so much money when you're pregnant and you have a pregnant belly. The only thing he cared about was money and content, and
yeah, bro, she just didn't feel the love.
I knew if we had a child, it would be the same exact thing. I knew that child would be exploited. I remember looking at him and I was like, Jack, you do not realize if this is happening, I'm done. I'm not doing OnlyFans. I'm not doing that.
She took the only action she felt she could.
I couldn't imagine bringing
Was she the one who walked out on him?
Child into the mix.
Like, who got the police and packed her stuff and all that?
I came to terms
with the fact clip I'm talking about.
That it wasn't right to have the child, and that's something I live with to this day.
Allegedly, according to her, Doherty also became abusive.
When I called my parents,
they do everything to her,
and I was sobbing to them. I was like, Mom, Dad, like, I'm done. Like, he put his hands on me again. This has been so horrible. Like, he's not getting better.
Following their split, Richardson was left continuing to do OnlyFans to support herself after managing to regain control of her accounts from Doherty. And whilst this all might just seem inevitable and constant, it really shouldn't be. This is a marketplace, and it only exists because we continue to show up to this meat market. The only way to cut off the supply is to kill the demand, to stop feeding this escalation machine, and stop glamorizing this lifestyle, to kill parasocial relationships. Because if millions of people did this, the entire structure would collapse. People would never feel encouraged to do such a thing in the first place. Because systems don't change themselves, individuals do. And when enough people change, the system has no choice but to follow.
But I don't think it's gonna happen because everybody wants to be conformed in society, bro, for the most part, the average person. Bro, OF really? Is that the wave?